So E3 2018 has come and went, and Telltale decided to release a lot of information about the final season of The Walking Dead, including its release date, which is August 14th, which is a lot sooner than I was expecting. That means the game has been in development for less than 2 years, a year and a couple months, which isn't a lot of time. Although, funnily enough, it still looks better than anything I've seen from A New Frontier. We got screenshots, a teaser trailer, a gameplay trailer, and Melissa and a lead writer from Telltale have been doing multiple interviews. So they're pretty much getting it out there, and we have a lot of information we can take from it. I want to start by talking about the teaser trailer first, since that was, I think, the first thing they released. I thought the teaser trailer was pretty good. It was really well shot, well choreographed. They wrote a blog actually on the website. I recommend reading it, it's a good read. And they talk about what they were doing specifically with that trailer to make it feel a lot more natural and a lot more real. Really, my only complaint about this trailer at all is that it seems to be a little bit too Shoot Lee focused. I personally did Shoot Lee, but for people who didn't, it seems to imply what should happen to Clementine, and I don't know, I'd feel a little cheated if I didn't shoot Lee. I'm glad they went back to some form of artistic vision instead of some generic aesthetic of A New Frontier. This art style is a lot more memorable and visually pleasing to look at. I don't really have too much to say about the screenshots other than the art style seems to work, I like it. So, about Clementine then. Melissa Hutchison, the voice actor, has confirmed that Clementine is 17, meaning this is actually set past the comic timeline, and is 4 years after A New Frontier, or 6 years after Season 2, 8 years after Season 1. I really like Clementine's model here. I always felt that Clementine was far too clean in the older games. This is a zombie apocalypse. She should look tired and dirty, and we can definitely see that here. I'm also really glad they got rid of that horrible haircut from A New Frontier. Her new haircut looks a lot better. The new jacket she has fits her style better than the red jacket. It keeps her warm and, unlike the red jacket, doesn't make her a walking target for zombies. I don't really have that much to say about AJ, other than maybe he should have his hair cut. It's pretty long, easy for a zombie to grab. But I'm pretty sure they're saving that for a scene where Clementine does it herself. Basically just a callback to what Lee did in Season 1. It seems too obvious to not happen. The new gameplay sections look really good as well. I said it during my live stream earlier this year, but the camera change was a really necessary addition, and in my opinion should have been implemented far earlier. The old camera got in the way sometimes, and you couldn't really see what your character was doing, or you couldn't really see the environment that well. This time we can see exactly what Clementine sees, which is a big plus. The combat sections seem fine to me. They don't look amazing by any means. Choosing to kill a zombie one way or the other doesn't seem to change anything really. Pressing A instead of B, I mean, it's not that impressive. But maybe they might do interesting things with it in the future, I don't know. At least the technology is there for them to do interesting things. Those are pretty much all the good things about what we've heard so far. But I do have some concerns and some things I'm not a fan of. One of these is the setting. A boarding room is a decent location, I guess. It has beds. It can hold a lot of people. Sure, fine. I have no problem with the location, but it's the people living there that I have an issue with. I don't really like the character designs. They don't really seem that interesting to me, and some of them just look really bad. Marlene in particular still looks like an edgy teen from a Twisted Sister music video.
Stand up straight! Tuck in that shirt! Adjust that belt buckle! Tie those shoes! Twisted Sister? What is that?
Not a fan. Another worry of mine is that the information we received before heavily implied that Clementine had romance options with multiple characters, which I really hate a lot. It feels incredibly forced, and I just don't feel like there's anyone who can live up to her. Marlon is basically just a Kenny clone, Violet is basically a Jane Molly clone, and Lewis I think is supposed to be Lee. But I don't really care. I liked Lee because he was Lee. You can't just stick a similar personality on a different model and expect me to like them because of it. Kenny worked because of the history we had with him and the interactions we had with him. You can't just force a character like Marlon into the story and expect me to like him because he's similar to Kenny. That's just not going to work, and it's not going to make me care about them at all. Another problem I have is AJ in particular. I don't really feel any attachment to him at all. He always felt like he was dragging the plot away from Clementine, and it seems to be the same case here. Apparently they're working on making AJ and Clementine's interactions feel more natural and likeable, so if they manage to make us like him, hats off to them, but I don't know, I don't feel anything. I really hope they manage to make those interactions work, because I just don't feel anything for AJ. So they have to give me a reason to care, because right now I really don't. I hope they do. Probably the last and most contentious issue is the fact that this is going to be a 4-episode season instead of a 5-episode season that they normally do. Personally, I think this is pretty stupid. We're essentially losing an entire episode's worth of content, and they haven't really given us a good reason as to why that is, other than that's what they believe they can do. I've seen people argue that it's better to have a 4-episode focus season than a rushed, dragged out 5-episode season like Inner Frontier, but that's assuming we completely forgot that season 1 existed, which managed to do just that. It sucks, but there's not really anything that can be done now, I suppose. I just hope that they make best use of the 4 episodes and they don't make it feel unfinished or rushed. Obviously, if they think they can only tell the story in 4 episodes, that's fine. But I really hope that these episodes at least last 2 hours. I'm not really holding my hopes up for that, but that's kind of the standard they should be going for. Those are my thoughts. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments. Is there something I missed? Is there something I should know? Anyway, until next time, I'll speak to you later. Peace.